Vinegar. Today we're going to be making Carne Guisada or Puerto Rican beef stew. And let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. So first of all, you're going to need some sort of beef steak. So this is actually London broil that I've sliced and I've pounded out, and I put them in plastic bags and leave them, and I've poured it out. You're gonna need sofrito. Sofrito, if you don't know what sofrito is, you could go back into one of my old tutorials and you'll see how to make sofrito. I have an easier version, a more elaborate version. It's delicious without that. That's like the base of all Puerto Rican food. You're gonna need a potato. You're gonna need tomato paste or tomato sauce. This is some chopped up red onion or onion, pepper, green pepper. You're gonna need, I use Dominican oregano. My husband's Dominican. I don't know, I like Dominican oregano. You're gonna need chicken bouillon, cumin, ground onion. If you have some real chopped up garlic, even better, which I do. But if you have powdered garlic, that's fine. You're gonna need some salt, some black pepper. I use this sazonador total. You don't need it, that's not necessary. I use a little bit sometimes. Adobo, if you have it, oil, and vinegar. I'm gonna wash my meat and I'm gonna season my meat first. You're also gonna need a little pot or a caldero. Sometimes I use a caldero. Today I'm not gonna use a caldero, I'm using something else, but caldero is good too. We'll be right back. So I wash my meat. I know some people don't wash their meat, but I do. So I rinse it out with cold water to get a lot of that blood out. Now, this is the vinegar that I use. I think I have this. So I'm gonna show you by the big vinegar here. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna dump some of this water out. So I put like that much of the vinegar. And at first I just let the vinegar soak into the meat for a second or two. Then I add the water. Get scared if you start to see it turn this color. It's not bad, it's just the vinegar is turning it the color plus the water, and it kind of gets slimy. That's all the vinegar. You see how that started, the vinegar, what it made. You can even start to see that the water got a little heavy. Now we're going to turn this back on. We're going to try and rinse that water out, and we're going to try and rinse this meat out as much as we can. So I'm going to rinse this a couple of more times, and then I'm going to come back. So I wanted to show you see these pieces? So that's too big. So what I do is I cut them smaller. I'll make them like that size. I do it already myself. So let's say a tablespoon of onion powder, about half a teaspoon of adobo. You don't want too much adobo because you know adobo is very salty. Now this is the sazonador, right? Total. I use it. You don't have to. This is all optional, and I only put a little bit. So I put, let's say, a quarter of a tablespoon. Now this is oregano. Let's say that's about a tablespoon of oregano, a bit of cumin, a little bit of black pepper. Let's say I had a whole tablespoon of chicken bouillon. To this, I'm gonna add maybe a quarter of it to maybe half of it. Remember I told you I have fresh garlic that's already like a paste? You can use the other one. You can use powder. Now this is a sofrito that I told you about. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons. Now I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here, just a little bit. Don't forget, you're also gonna need vinegar. We're gonna try and just move this around and try and get the seasonings in here. This is like a teaspoon, right? So let's say we put 2 teaspoons. Sometimes I put this in the fridge and I let it sit, sometimes an hour or 2. I'm gonna take out my pan and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna cook it. You don't want to get too crazy with the sofrito, so I'm gonna put another, let's say 2. I'll put the rest of it. We're gonna put some more oregano. Another half a teaspoon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of oregano, more. Some more garlic. You gotta make sure your pan is on and it's very hot. And green pepper, we're gonna add it to that. And this is a tomato paste. So I'll put like, let's say about 2 teaspoons. Now my pan is, I can feel how hot it is. Now I'm gonna put oil in this pan. Make sure the oil heats up. If this, and I'm gonna raise the heat up again. I'm gonna let it warm back up, get very hot. We're gonna stir it. Let's see why I don't use the achote in this, because when you use tomato paste, it gets very red. I'm gonna add some water to this because I'm gonna lower the heat soon, and I'm gonna let it cook for a long time. And then, I'm sorry guys, every time you watch one of my videos you hear noise. It's because I live on the service road of a highway and I live by a hospital. I'm gonna let it cook a little bit, then I'm gonna add some water to it, then I'm gonna lower the heat and we're gonna let it cook slowly for at least half an hour or so. Even though the meat is gonna throw off some water, I still add water. About half a cup. And I'm gonna have to add some salt to this. I know it already. So for now, I don't know if you guys can see that with the light. I'm adding about this much for now. And it definitely needed a little more, even though I added the salt, definitely needed a little more adobo. So let's see, another half a teaspoon of adobo. I'm gonna put mine on like medium low, and we're gonna leave it back like half an hour. My daughter is helping me, so that's what it's looking like. I moved it over because I'm making some rice for another video. So let me show you. I peeled the potatoes and I made them like that thick. So I'm like that. Don't move it too fast, Steph. I'm gonna lower the heat. I think I let it cook too much. It's looking like it might need a little bit more water. Maybe like 1/4 of a cup water, and we're gonna cover it back up over water. Now we're gonna cover it back up and we're gonna let it keep cooking. But I'm gonna raise the heat a little bit so that it cooks a little faster. So we're back, and this is what our beef stewart carne guisada is looking like, and it smells absolutely, you don't know, we can't wait. So it came out a little different in this pot as opposed to I would have cooked it in a caldero. But it looked like it cooked so much it started to come apart in this pot. I hope you like my recipe. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys try it. And if you have any other recipes that you'd like me to try, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.